Yeah, good evening, Jesse. Thank you for having me. So mRNA basically stands for messenger ribonucleic acid, which is essentially the message of our DNA. So our genes have to convey the information in the form of messenger RNA. And that information, that is mRNA, is what leads to the proteins that make us who we are. So mRNA, in effect, is the software of the human body. And as software, we could develop technologies that update our software, that tell our immune system to fight something it should fight, whether it's an infection or cancer. It could also be used to tell our immune system to tolerate something like an autoimmune disease. It could also be used to replace a gene deficit. So mRNA has a number of different applications. And you're quite right in what you described as mRNA technologies having been developed for cancer, particularly because information in a cancer that may not be widely recognized by our immune system can be educated in the form of this message that can basically wake up the immune response against cancer.
So what about pancreatic cancer? Because my understanding is there is this study that reportedly says there is an mRNA vaccine for pancreatic cancer that is showing these long-term results in a clinical trial. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's very exciting. So pancreatic cancer is a cancer. It's very hard to treat cancer. And one of the challenges specifically with pancreatic cancer is it's very hard for the immune system to recognize pancreatic cancer cells because they look so normal. So to get these results, to show that we could actually identify in a very personalized manner targets within pancreatic cancer and actually, in many cases, induce long-term effect. Now, this is work done at Memorial Sloan Kettering in partnership with BioNTech. That promise of seeing patients living years after receiving these vaccines gives us a lot of hope in the field for other very hard to treat cancers, brain cancers, colon cancers, other cancers. So in many ways, to see these effects in one of the hardest to treat cancers really creates a lot of hope for many other cancers right now where there really aren't many technologies.
And just to be clear, meaning like you have patients that are in remission from this?
There have been patients that have been in remission for years as a result of receiving these treatments, yeah.
So what does it mean in terms of getting it to market? What does it mean in terms of it actually being widely available as an option for people as opposed to the standard routes of chemotherapy and radiation?
Yeah, so the beauty of these particular mRNA vaccines is they're personalized. Basically, a patient's own individual tumor is profiled for its unique fingerprints, its unique targets. Those unique fingerprints can now be turned into that information, that mRNA, that can be given as a very unique and personalized vaccine for that individual. So really commercializing something like that is a little more challenging than COVID-19, which is essentially the same vaccine across an entire population. These are really vaccines that are customized for an individual. So the cost of these vaccines is greater. And then there's also significant time to generation, meaning from the time that you profile a patient's tumor to the time that you have vaccine could be a number of months. We believe that we'll be able to cut that turnaround time to weeks, but it is months right now. And those are some of the challenges with really commercializing this writ large. But as the technology improves, as the speed improves, this will likely be done in a much more robust and commercially amenable manner.
Are you getting the funding that you need? Are you getting the help from the current administration that you need?
Well, listen, it's been government funding over many years, over decades, that's allowed us to reach this point. I will say the COVID-19 vaccine, the Trump administration's investment in COVID-19 many years ago has really, I think, boosted tremendously the work in the cancer vaccine space. Right now, the government is supportive of therapeutic cancer vaccines, as I understand it. And we hope that will continue.
So just to be clear, if someone wanted this as an option and said, I don't know, whatever the cost is, give this to me, that's still not wildly available. That's still not an option quite yet?
It has to be done in the form of a clinical trial right now. But if these trials show promise, meaning they meet their pre-specified endpoints, their primary objectives, then certainly this will move into the later phase studies, the phase 3 study, which is essentially is placebo-controlled. And if it works in that setting, then yes, it would be widely available.
And just quick, how long would that take? Years?
We're still looking at probably a few years, yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.